Hi, this is Primetime Wrestling UK episode 28, and today we're going to be talking about Elimination Chamber. But first, before that, we're going to talk about DDP, which we went to last night, and then we'll move on to Elimination Chamber, and then we'll talk about the NXT pay-per-view that happened last week, as well as talking about the WWE Network, and as well as that, towards the end, we'll talk about Sting meet and greet that's coming up in a couple of weeks' time. First, we'll start with Diamond Dallas Page last night at Leicester Square Theatre. We were let in about, what was it, 5:30, just after 5:30. And then, yeah, we went straight in up to the main stage, and he came out a couple of minutes later. It started pretty much on time, which makes a nice change with signings and things like that. We were about 4th or 5th in line, so we got through very quickly. They had some promos, promos, posters, and his yoga stuff that you could buy as well, if you wanted to, if you didn't have anything to get signed. I got my encyclopedia signed, as well as this promo, which I know DDP liked, with Bam Bam and Canyon on it. He said that was one of his favourite promo pictures. Yeah. He said about it being one of the old WCW promo pictures. It was one of his favourites, so that was cool to hear. He's a really nice guy. Got the photo taken by Chris Brooker. I think I said his name right. Yeah, basically once we had the photos all graphs done, we went to our seats and just waited around until they let him. I think the show's... What time it started about 15 minutes late, didn't it? Because it started... Let me think, it started 5:30, 6, 7, it went to about 7:15 when the show, I think, was meant to start at 7.
I think it started about 7:15, didn't it?
Yeah, sorry, they finished at 7:15, the meet and greet, and then they let people in. I think they started about 7:45 in the end. And then they had the break halfway through, and then it finished about just before 11, I think, in the end. So it went a good half an hour or 40 odd minutes over time. But yeah, first I'll do some of the questions people asked him. There's some funny ones. There was before he's asked one question, he was talking about a text message on his phone that was sent to. Was it sent from him to Jake the Snake? That emotional one.
Yeah, he sent it to Jake.
Yeah, and it was very. He got.
About him appearing on Raw.
Yeah, he basically got very tearful while reading this, about how well Jake's done and congratulations on being on Raw and all that. It's very emotional for him. It was emotional for everyone, I think. But yeah, after that, this guy they said, Chris Booker said, I don't know how anyone's going to up that one. Then this guy decides to ask what happened between Diamond Dallas Page and his ex-wife. What went wrong? Which everyone then laughed over. Of all the questions to ask, what happened with your wife? Which is just basically, he answered they just grew apart, didn't they? It was just one of those things you get sometimes as a wrestler, they grow apart. And they did what was best for them, so they could at least stay friends and not ruin it completely. Because as he said, when you've loved someone for so long, you can't just tell them to go away, basically. You have to keep in contact with them, at least be friends with them. You can't just walk away from someone you've loved for so long. It just doesn't work that way. But yeah, that was a funny question to ask him after that emotional text message he read out. Well, he was also asked his thoughts on the stalker gimmick, which he actually wasn't that keen on doing at the time. It wasn't the idea that he came up with. He basically wanted to do this People's Champ versus People's Champ with The Rock. But when he suggested that, Vince wasn't really keen on it, and Vince was hell-bent basically on doing the stalker gimmick with The Undertaker, which I liked the gimmick, to be honest. And the way he came out, pulled the mask off, got a massive reaction from the crowd. I know a lot of people weren't nuts on it, but I liked it.
Well, didn't he say also he agreed to do it to bring the best out of The Undertaker, not to just agree, he just wanted to do it.
Yeah.
He just wanted to do it just to show a different side to The Undertaker, didn't he?
I think he regretted that he didn't really go all out and push hard for the People's Champ versus People's Champ thing, didn't he? he wishes he had just said to him, look, this is what I want to do, let me know when you're interested, and walk out. But obviously it didn't work out that way. But, you know, if he would have said no, who's to say, they might not have taken him up, and, you know, he may never have been really in the WE. But, you know, obviously he got that big push with the Undertaker story, and then got his WrestleMania match with Christian, which he was very happy with. But, yeah, there was also, he was talking about, someone asked him about his match, his triple threat match with Raven and Chris Benoit. And first he was talking about Chris Benoit, because they also asked what he thought on Chris Benoit. And he said the guy that did that wasn't the Chris Benoit that he knew, basically, because, you know, he had the brain of an 84-year-old, because he'd had so much brain damage to his head. And as he said, Benoit didn't just jump off head first from the top ring post, he'd do it from the steel cage. From the top of the steel cage, you know, can you imagine the impact on your head landing like that every damn time? As he said, it wasn't the Chris Benoit he knew. It's just something had gone wrong, seriously wrong in his brain, and he just completely snapped. Which is a shame.
He also spoke about Macho Man, didn't he? About how great that was an honour for him to work with.
Yeah, it was where he was basically talking about Scott Hall, getting to know him, and how he basically got him Scott Hall a chance when he in his early days, where he basically persuaded him to change his look, change the colour of his hair to a darker colour, and shave the tash off, which he wasn't nuts on doing, but Scott needed the money at the time because of his wife was going to have a child and all that. But, you know, he managed to get him in the door with Dusty Rhodes, and, you know, well, as you saw what he became in the long run. The same with DDP, was basically got to where he was because of Dusty believed in him and gave him an opportunity where people like dear old Michael Hayes, as usual, just laughs it off and just thinks you've got no chance, sort of thing, just like he did with CM Punk. He's done it with Punk. He's got this ridiculous attitude, you're not going to make it, and he's proven wrong every single time. He frustrates me. He always comes out with this nonsense. But yeah, thanks to Dusty Rhodes, DDP was able to have his opportunity, because DDP didn't start his wrestling career until I think it's about 35, he said. And he tried in his 20s, but as he said, he was awful. And just did commentary, I think it was. And then he became a manager. Who did he become a manager for? I think he was manager for Scott Hall for a while, wasn't he? Because that was part of the idea he had for him, to be his manager, but then they wanted to do something separately with him, so they took DDP away from the managing thing, and then his contract was coming up, and he just did something on TV with Eric Bischoff in the early hours, which no one watched, as he put it. But yeah, he gave it up for a while and went into... He was a security guard, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He did that for a while, and then he came back into wrestling in his mid-30s. And as he put it, when he was in WCW, because I remember very well, he was treated like a job a lot of the time. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, he just completely changed for him, where he came up with the idea of he would pretend to join the NWO, and then out of nowhere, hit the diamond cutter on Scott Hall. And then,
that's what made him, innit,
well, yeah, he did, cause I remember watching that, just suddenly out of the blue, all of a sudden he took him out, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, he's WCW World Champion. Bischoff wasn't actually going to go with the idea at first. It was only because Scott Hall threatened to walk out that he went with it. Because otherwise he wouldn't have gone with it, and who knows what would have come with DDP. Luckily, was it DDP said this right? It's not who you know, it's who's willing to say they know you.
Yeah.
It's proved to be the case for DDP, you know. You know, the fact it's all about someone being willing to put their name on the line to get you that opportunity, and not everyone is willing to do that, are they? And Scott Hall certainly did that with Eric Bischoff, and he then basically did that whole story, which got a huge reaction, where he dropped the NWO, and then, cause it was really he was the first one really to take him on, wasn't he? And then he became the champion, which was really cool. He was also asked about Randy. This guy thinks Randy Orton's becoming stale, and which Karen didn't like. But what would he?
He's got 2 belts, dude.
Yeah, he said what would he do with Randy if he was in a feud with him. Was he came up with the obvious thing is the Diamond Cutter versus the RKO because they're virtually the same move, aren't they? There was the whole thing with that, and Randy always used to say to him backstage that he'll see him soon because, you know, the match between them will happen, and DDP's adamant it won't. And to this stage of his career, I'm not sure he ever will, to be honest. Wouldn't mind a little short feud with them, but it might be a bit late now. But what else did you talk about? He brought out his girlfriend during the show, who turns out she's fighting breast cancer. And where did I put? I did write down where is it? She's got a Facebook page called BK's. It's BK-S BK's Big Breast Cancer Adventure. I've already seen it on there, and I've put it on my Facebook group. Yeah, it's basically her adventures fighting breast cancer, and hopefully she'll fight it. I'm sure with him, because he's a very positive man, so I'm sure with his inspiration she'll hopefully get through it. But yeah, he talks about Jake the Snake, some of his travels with him and Kevin Nash, where their car broke down in the middle of nowhere in pitch dark with no lighting, and the old Jake the Snake decides to walk off, and they haven't got a clue where the hell he is. DDP says to Kev, "Where is he?" He's like, "I ain't got a clue, man," or something like that. And then all of a sudden he appears with this bloody big truck, driving a truck with a Budweiser in his hand. You could just vision it as well. And another story was brilliant. Steve Austin, the cookie story. He let Steve Austin stay at his place for a while he was having some issues. And he came back to find it, because he was obviously drowning in sorrows. He'd been drinking, he'd been eating loads of cookies, he just crashed out. And his way of getting him to get back up the stairs to his bedroom was to pick up this cookie like this, and Austin would be like, "Cookie, cookie." He'd slowly walk along with it like he's a bloody dog or something, until he got to the top of the stairs, then let him grab it and fall into his room and then shut the door on him and go to his own room. I thought that was hilarious. You could just vision Austin as well, wouldn't it? Cookie, cookie. Yeah. And then there was this other story, Jake the Snake with his bloody snake. Apparently Jake the Snake is actually scared of snakes, believe it or not. Yeah, but he used to get by it because he was always out of his head, basically, on drink, pills. It was out, as he said, that's how wrestlers used to get through, basically, just pills. As he said, if you take a certain amount of pills, then you had to take more to work with that, then you'd have to take more and more, and you'd end up taking about 40 a day. It's insane what they go through. But yeah, this snake, he was out of his head, Jake, late at night. All of a sudden DDP sees him playing with a blooming snake, and then the snake, Jake the Snake, all of a sudden comes over to him and goes, "I can't find the snake." DDP goes like, "What?" He's like, "I can't find the snake." So they're looking around everywhere, they look in this bathroom. All of a sudden Jake the Snake sees him under the bath or something like that. So it's like, he said, "I'll get him in the morning." He's like, "No, get him now." And he said, "No, I'll get him in the morning." He's gone off. Jake the Snake's disappeared for about 3 days. They've had to cover the doors so the cats can't get in and don't get bloody killed. And they basically had to get some sort of pet control out or something to get out. And they didn't know if it had been venomized or what. So of course the guy trying to get out is scared shit that he's going to get bit and die, basically. Which is a funny story, so Jesus Christ. I couldn't believe when he said Jake's scared of snakes. Jake the Snake scared of snakes. Unbelievable, isn't it? It shows he obviously was higher the whole time he was doing his gimmicks, because otherwise how the hell would you get away with, how would you have the nerve to do that? Yeah, obviously he spoke about his DDP yoga, of course. And he's a very good talker, he's very inspirational and very, very positive. If you're ever feeling negative or down, just watch, well, I've not listened to his podcast yet, but just listen to one of his podcasts or go onto his ddpyoga.com or DDP Yoga on Facebook. He could easily cheer you up in no time because he's just that good at talking. Very inspirational. He's been through a lot in his time as well with his breakup, his wife. He's wrestling career, also, you know, the pills, drinks, all that stuff. So, you know, he's seen it all. So, you know, he's very inspirational. And he's put a lot of effort into this DDP yoga. And he's done very well for himself. He always sets out plans ahead of himself and always ends up hitting his goals, which is amazing because not everyone can hit the goals they have. Yeah, that was. Well, I don't want to go into every single thing, because if you haven't seen the show and you're going to see it, I'd have basically told you everything that's happened. But yeah, it was a very good night. Unfortunately, it wasn't sold out, but you know, that's the way it goes. Chris Brooker started off the show. This guy is always so bloody funny. Now while they're doing your meet and greet thing with DDP, they played the wrestlers' music from the past, and also Emma's music came on. So he starts doing the old Emma dance. Chris laughs at him, and then he's like, Chris is getting him to do it more, and then he goes up to Chris and goes, "That's the last time I'm going to be your bitch tonight," which I thought was hilarious. And of course he helped him with the questions. But yeah, that guy's brilliant. He really should do his own stand-up at Leicester Square Theatre, because I'd so go to that. Oh, your throat's going. Yeah, it's just I've had a bit of a sore throat since the show last night, so just irritating my voice a bit. But yeah, that was pretty much the DDP shows. Very much worthwhile going to. Now hopefully down the road he'll do another one day. Hopefully more people will come, because I think people missed out by not going to that.
I really do as well.
It was very good.
I texted one of my mates this morning to tell them how, like, you know, you missed out on a really good show, and their reply to me was, DDP's never interested in them. It's a bit disrespectful, isn't it?
Yeah. Because let's face it, if it wasn't for DDP, would Jake the Snake or Scott Hall be alive now?
No, they wouldn't.
The other thing he did mention was Triple H was very much behind getting... It was Jake the Snake, wasn't it, into the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
And he said, the policy in the WWE is you've got to be clean for a year to have a chance of being in the Hall of Fame. And obviously he has, and now he's got the opportunity, and also he's heard the rumours that Scott Hall's going in. Obviously he doesn't know like us, but hopefully he will as well. I think they both should go in together and both be inducted by DDP, because basically DDP saved their life. Without him, they'd either still be in the mess that they're in, or they wouldn't be alive anymore. And we certainly wouldn't have got to meet Scott Hall at the NWO thing, so he wouldn't have been able to...
Jake the Snake's one I'd love to meet.
Yeah, apparently Jake the Snake and DDP are doing WrestleCon, which hasn't actually been put on the site yet, but apparently they're doing it. I'm hoping they'll do Sunday as well as Saturday, because everyone seems to be doing Saturday at the moment. It'd be nice to get one on a Sunday, like Jake the Snake. So I'd like to meet him, it'd be cool. But yeah, that was basically it for the show. It's a very good show. I'm going to post it on send it to Eros, this video, so hopefully they'll watch it, and I'm hoping DDP will watch it as well. I'd like to get him to watch that as well, see his thoughts on it. But yeah, that's basically it for the show, and now we're going to talk about Elimination Chamber briefly, because I think we've been talking about DDP for nearly 20 minutes there. That's how good it was. There was so much to talk about, you know. Elimination Chamber, pre-show was Cody and Goldust against Axel and Ryback, which Cody and Goldust won, which I wasn't surprised at, even though it was in Axel's hometown. The way they are with him at the moment, you know, I don't know, they're just not bothering with him anymore. It was a decent match, nothing great, but it was decent. Batista Del Rio was as predictable as they come. I mean, you'd have to be a plonker to predict Del Rio to win that, because it was as obvious as they come. It was an average match, because the problem was everyone knew what was going to happen, so you can't really get into a match where you're dead certain. Titus versus Darren Young. Titus won, which was a okay match, but I just don't think them against each other really clicks. It just didn't seem to click for me, which is a shame, but hopefully they'll get pushed in their own directions and not just get pushed aside. Outlaws against Usos, which the Outlaws won, which I was glad about, because I don't think Outlaws should lose it until WrestleMania. It was a good match, but I was glad with the result, because as I said, they shouldn't lose it yet. I don't want to lose it to Usos either. I'd rather they brought in someone like Tyson and Justin Gabriel, reformed them. Something like that. Divas match, oh god. AJ versus Cameron. Cameron, of all people. I mean, I know they've not got a great range to pick from at the moment, with Layla being out, Caitlin's gone. There's not a great deal to choose from, but Cameron's like, oh god, she's like so annoying.
I would easily put Summer Rae into the mix, mate.
Well, Emma should have been in the match. Instead of putting her with Santino and having this silly little gimmick thing going, make it more serious and have her go after AJ and fight her at WrestleMania, or bring Paige up finally.
Yeah.
We also had Cameron won this match by DQ, which Tamina, I swear she kicked AJ on purpose. That's what it looked like to me. Yeah, I don't want to see Tamina in it. I've never been a fan of Tamina's, and it just doesn't appeal to me. Big E against Swagger, that was a good match, which Big E won. Johnny, my English. Big E won. Match of the night by a mile was the Wyatts against the Shield. From start to finish, this match was brilliant. Which the Wyatts won, which I thought they would. The Shield didn't explode on each other like I thought they would, but I think that'll come soon. I have to talk quicker through this because my voice is starting to irritate. The Chamber match, which was won by Randy Orton, which I predicted beforehand who the last four would be. It would be last two would be Randy and Daniel. Cena would be number 3 and Cesaro number 4, which the Wyatts cost John Cena, which obviously is leading to their match at WrestleMania. Which I don't buy into the whole crap of John Cena being injured because I don't think he is. It's just story. Yeah, Randy Orton won, who's due to fight Batista at WrestleMania, but there is a lot of strong rumours that they've changed it and they're turning into a triple threat with either Daniel Bryan or CM Punk. Which I'd hope Daniel Bryan, because he deserves it more, because, you know, he hasn't walked out on the company. You know, it's that simple. He hasn't walked out and he deserves it more. The Elimination Chamber, I enjoyed the whole pay-per-view overall. Apart from the odd match, it wasn't great, but overall I enjoyed it. It's better than the Rumble, I thought. Next, before talking about the network, the NXT pay-per-view, which was... Obviously, I don't have the network yet because it seems really... All the instructions you need to get it on your PlayStation 3 or your Kindle, it's a right absolute palaver. And I just can't be bothered to go through it and then risk something going wrong on it. I'd rather just wait till summer or the end of the year and then get it the easier way of just putting the app on the computer or PlayStation and then Bob's your uncle sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because if otherwise you've got to create an American account and oh god, it's a flipping palaver. I just can't be bothered with it. But yeah, you had Paige against Emma, which was probably the best Divas match we've seen for a while anyway, a couple of years probably. Really, it showed they should be on the main roster, fighting each other in the triple threat with AJ at WrestleMania. That'd be the best thing to do. Whether there's a Divas match at WrestleMania or not is another thing. But if they don't give them the opportunity against AJ, then it should be Natalya. But they don't treat Natalya well. They treat her like she's an old woman or something. It's ridiculous. She's better than the ones they keep pushing like Naomi. Well, there was Ascension against Too Cool, which Scotty Too Hotty's bald. But I was like, what the hell? Where's his blonde hair gone? It didn't really work for his gimmick. It's like, it didn't suit him. It was a decent match, which of Ascension won, of course, as you expect. You had Parker against, what's the big guy's name? I'm not a fan of him. Mojo, which was a dull match. I'm not a fan of Mojo. I don't know why they seem to insist on pushing him, because I don't rate him at all. You had the main event was Adrian Neville against Bo Dallas, which was an excellent match. I like both of them. I like Bo Dallas. I know some people don't, but I like Bo.
Cesaro versus Sami Zayn.
Yes, this was the best match out of the lot. Cesaro against Sami Zayn to start off the show. It topped their last match they had. It was brilliant. Those two, it showed those two should be, well, Cesaro obviously is in the main roster, but it showed Antonio should be main eventing and Sami Zayn should be at least at the Intercontinental level.
Yeah.
But I've heard rumours that there's going to be an NXT match at WrestleMania, which, if they do, would be brilliant, and I want it to be Adrian Neville against Sami Zayn for the NXT title. Cause that would, and in a ladder match as well, because that would be bloody brilliant. It would kind of make up for being no Money in the Bank match. Those two in a ladder match would be great. They deserve the opportunity at WrestleMania. Start off the show like that, with a match like that. What better way? Don't stick it on the bloody pre-show. Stick it as the first match on the live, as it goes live.
Of course, but you know what? I would even add Bo Dallas to that. Triple threat, mate.
Yeah, possibly. But as long as Sami Zayn and Adrian's in it, then, you know, it's great. Yeah, the WWE Network started last week, I think it was. Which, at the moment, it's technically only meant to be for Americans, which I can see why they've done it, because they've had a few glitches. And I know a lot of people complained during the NXT show that it was buffering a lot. And some people only saw some of the last match. So I can understand why they've only done it in one country so far, because while they basically fix all the errors before they go worldwide. But hopefully, because Bella said they'll be doing it in Europe, UK, in summertime, which on their site it says late this year or end of the year. But the Bella said summer, so hopefully it will be the summer. But, you know, obviously we're not going to get the pay-per-views on it, because we already have that deal with Sky where they're going to be on box office. Every pay-per-view next year I think is going to be on box office. Plus you're going to have Raw and SmackDown's going to stay on Sky Sports. Plus they're having the WWE main event show, which I'm glad they're putting on. Plus you've got NXT. So what you're basically going to get on the network in the UK is past pay-per-views, all the past pay-per-views, Raws, things like that, all the old stuff, WCW. Plus you'll get like the other little documentary, things like that, anything they make up, like the legends, the house legends and all that. What?
No doubt you'll get the pay-per-view, like say, you know, the ones that are on Sky Box Office, you'll probably get them a month later, wouldn't you, on the network? I
don't know, well, yeah, I don't know about a month later, it might be a bit longer, but they'll eventually end up on the network, because archives and all that stuff, won't it? But obviously, your options for that is, the thing is, once you've logged in, you've created your account and paid for it you can pay through PayPal, which is the best way, I think. Once you've done that, you can use it on your laptop, your PlayStation 3, your Kindle Fire, if you've got one, a mobile phone, which I've seen. The only thing with Kindle Fire is the W app's not working at the moment in the UK. It's just about a network connection, which hopefully by the time it comes out here, they would have sorted it. Because it needs an update as well, because my mobile's got the update, and it shows the network on it. So obviously you've got the Xbox as well. I'm going to get it, I'll log into it, and I'll probably use it on my PlayStation 3, the Kindle Fire and my mobile. I won't use it on my laptop because for some reason videos don't work that great on this laptop. I don't think there's enough memory on that thing, and it just, like when I watch my mobile videos on it goes really badly funny. Videos just don't work properly on that laptop, so yeah, you've got plenty of options to use it, and you know, I've always wanted a 24/7 wrestling network. The only danger is I won't go out my house once it comes to UK. End up just sitting in my room the whole time. Be like a vampire. But yeah, I think we've covered everything. The DDP Elimination Chamber, WWE Network, NXT, and we've got, of course, forgot, in a couple of weeks, you got in Chalk Farms An Evening with Sting, which has replaced An Evening with Ric Flair. So we get to meet him, and that's not that one, that's Jeff Jarrett. Where's the Sting? I'm getting this promo signed by him. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That should be good. Also, I don't know if any of you have seen this new comic that's out. I got that on eBay. There's a few of them on eBay. Most of them are sold in America, but there is some here. Forbidden Planet site doesn't seem to have them, so there's not many of them going at the moment. So whenever you get a chance to get one, it's worth getting. Because they're only a couple of quid as well. So they're definitely worth getting.
Are they still on there?
I think there's a few. The company I got on eBay, I'll send you the code for. They haven't got that same cover one. There's different covers for the first edition, but you can get one that's got Kane on it.
So are you going to collect them now then, Craig?
Yeah, if I can get them. I mean, at the moment I've only been able to get one. None of them, most of them are in stock, and I can't find them online. Only people in America send them, and there's all the postage and all that. I can't be bothered with that. None of the Forbidden Planet shops seem to have them at the moment, but I'll keep an eye out on eBay and hopefully they'll come through. But yeah, that's it for episode 28. On Friday, when I'm at Samantha's, I'm going to be doing a special edition of the show, which is an interview with a friend of mine. I won't announce it until... I'll announce it on Friday morning, maybe Thursday night. And then, if you've got any questions for him, you can send them to me and I can read them to him while doing the interview. So, looking forward to that. This video will be up as soon as it uploads. And the interview on Friday will be up probably that same night as well. And as I said, I'll let you know on Facebook and Twitter who it is on Thursday night or Friday morning. And I'll let you know in a minute, Chris, who it is. Alright, that's it for the show. 30 minutes long, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye.